What's going on, guys? Kulprit here, and welcome back once again. Today we're going to switch gears a little bit. I know it sounds a little audacious. Guy makes one Let's Play in the last 18 months or so, and now he's talking about switching gears. But the reason I do that is we're doing a Stonehearth thing, really enjoying Stonehearth, but I'm getting a little bit far ahead of you. I think I just rendered up and uploaded episode 15, 16-ish. I think you guys are watching episode 6 or 7 right now. So if you give me feedback on episode 7, it's at least a week before you're going to even hear me comment on it, maybe even more. So I like to switch it up a little bit so that I can integrate your feedback as quickly as possible. So if you guys comment on episode 7 today, you're not like 15, 20 episodes behind. I'm already 7. That's about as max as I like to go because I like to have the feedback, especially in these. I like to name people. That's going to be something I'm going to talk a little more in this game right here. This is Rimworld. An argument could be made. This is one of my favorite games of all time. I was trying to figure out before I went live. And first I'm going to apologize. This episode's going to be a little slow. It's kind of going to be setup, strategy. We're going to be like a tabletop strategy guy right now. Just because I gotta set all the things up. If you guys are familiar with this game, you'll understand. If you're not familiar with the game and you kind of just want to see some action and see how the game works, maybe you might want to think about skipping to episode 2. Check it out. If you're interested, then come back, because if you have played this game, this first 20-30 minutes is absolutely crucial to this game. And the reason for that is because you can make a mistake in the first 5, 10, 20 minutes, but you won't know it for 3, 4, 10 hours later when you get attacked by a certain thing that's your Achilles heel and you realize, damn it, I focused on this too late and now I'm going to be wiped out for it. And while it might sound like a waste of time, that's the enjoyment. This game is just one big, I say it's a story simulator, an epic story simulator, and it's just one giant learning curve. I was trying to figure out how many hours I have in this game. And I don't know, because most of my hours are before it came to Rimworld. Excuse me, before it came to Steam. It only just recently came to Steam. I haven't even played it much on Steam. I think I had 37 hours on Steam. So that tells me it's like maybe one save for a little while or something. Probably testing out whatever that alpha was at that time. I've got to have close to 1,000 hours in this game, if not more. I was just looking at, I've done Let's Plays, I've done streams. It's just so many hours in this game, and I've enjoyed every one of them. Certain frustration, but when you get frustrated in this game, there's always a reason you got defeated. There's always a mistake you made that you can go back and be like, yeah, next time I'm going to do this differently. I'm going to build my base in a certain way. I'm going to focus on this earlier. And I'm a serial restart guy. Like, I love the startup. I love this stage, the strategy, the design, and just learning from those mistakes. I tend to get a little bored as I get later into the game and I get more established and I get dominant. So to that effect, let me explain to you how we're going to go about this. I play Rimworld straight up. And what I mean by straight up is I don't use turrets. I don't use like gamey kill boxes that kind of game the game mechanics, that kind of take advantage of the AI. I try to fight the enemies straight up. The enemies die from bullets from my Colonist guns. Like we battle, we fight wars, trench on trench. I definitely build defenses, and I try to get very creative and strategic about how I build it. I do use tactics, flanking, things like that. That's what I enjoy doing. Take a lot of losses for it, and sometimes I'll struggle because of it, but I don't get any enjoyment of making these big bases with tons of turrets and all these like single file paths that go around, and then there's traps in there, or maybe you throw Molotovs in and burn up stools. There's all these different ways you can kind of take advantage of a good AI, but AI nonetheless, and you can figure out their weaknesses or where they might pathfind poorly, and you can take advantage of that. So I try not to do that. Now, is that going to say I'm absolutely not going to ever use a turret? Not necessarily, because sometimes, as you can see here, I'm playing Cassandra Classic, which is your typical role-playing game arc. The stronger your colony gets, the more wealthy it gets, the more citizens it gets, the difficulty starts to ramp up and the AI is going to throw more things at you. If you're like 12, 20, 30 hours in and you get like almost nearly wiped out and you have 2 guys left and you're barely hanging on, theoretically, and I've seen this actually happen, that the AI will kind of take its foot off the gas on you, kind of let you, it might even throw you a bone, it might throw you a little wanderer that's going to join your tribe or something. So it's really good in that effect. So I'm playing Cassandra Classic. It's just the easiest way. It's a classic mode. It's just a good way to introduce you guys to the game if you haven't seen it before. If you have played this game before, pretty much you always play classic. I do anyway. I don't like the kind of sandboxy or the Randy Random, because Randy Random could be a little bit too much, and it can kind of that to me can get frustrating, because it's just like there's just no way I'm supposed to defeat that. So I'm also playing on the new Intense Game mode. So a significant challenge. Succeeding at this level requires a solid and well-rounded understanding of the survival strategies and some luck. Sounds like me. I've played Extreme before. Sometimes Extreme can get a little frustrating because it just seems to just throw more at you. And you never get a chance to get your feet under you. And it can be a little more difficult, especially for, in a Let's Play environment where I want to kind of show you the game and we want to dive into different facets. And, I always like to delve into efficiency and design and things like that. So it can be tough in that mode to do that. So I'm going to take a step back. Rough tends to be a little too easy for me. So intense. I'm excited to check this out and see how that works. So that's what we're doing. I've gone ahead... And basically, I've picked three guys. I re-rolled. I did not use a mod, or what is it, plan carefully or whatever the mod is. What I do is I just sit there and I roll, and I roll, and I roll, and I roll, and I roll. And I probably took an hour, 2 hours probably getting these 3 guys. And I got really good dudes. I'm very excited about these guys. So we've got the first one, Doc. I don't know if I'm going to rename the first 3. But as we get new people to join, people who post most in the comments, just supportive stuff, tips, questions even, absolutely fine. The most active people in the comments are going to get added to the colony. That's just how I work. It always kind of brings you guys interactively into the series, and it makes it, I get more attached to the people. So when I lose someone, or I risk someone, or maybe I send someone on a suicide mission to save the colony, I feel potentially like I might let one of my good viewers down. So it just adds, it heightens the tension in this game, which this game is full of tension. So here's our first colonist, Doc. I mean, you can tell. I kind of name them kind of just broad names like this so I can quickly know what their roles kind of are. So this is Doc. He's basically our medic. He's going to be the guy that does the medicine. He's going to also kind of be the warden. He's going to take care of the prisoners. He also will do research. The reason I like to group these up is I'm going to keep him back. You can see I have a little bit of a design on the base here. That's what I'm talking about. This is mostly going to be set up, not much gameplay here, because this is kind of me just setting everything up, telling you what I'm going to try to do, and then we're going to try to execute it. Because this game is going to interrupt that. So I wanted to get it all explained before the game takes it. And what is it? The best laid plans never survive the first punch, or something like that, or the best battle plan doesn't survive the first engagement. That is Rimworld in a nutshell. But basically, Doc is not going to go into combat if I can help it. He can if he has to, but I'm really going to keep him back. It could, because the other guys are going to get hurt. They're going to get damaged. They're going to need medical attention. Can't have your doctor go down. It just spirals your whole colony. Now, I do have some redundancy. So what I focus mostly on is I try not to have anybody incapable of anything. There might be a thing or two here I'll accept. Traits are what I'm really about. Traits and then passions. I don't so much even care about the actual ratings. So he's got the passions exactly where I want them. I don't care if he's lower. He's actually not. He's actually pretty darn good. And actually to have a little shooting mixed in there and other skills mixed in. This guy is really, really good to me. He's got no health issues. I mean, this guy's like primo. He's good. Like I said, I might have taken 45 minutes re-rolling this guy to get it perfect. I'm a little OCD about that. I don't like using the mods. I think it makes it a little too easy. Now, if you use that point system, I've experimented with it before. The point system's good. I just get super frustrated with that point system because I'm like, I really want this, and I can't make it work. So it's almost too many options with the mod. So I just like to re-roll and just go with the random dudes. So that is our Doc. Chef, as you can imagine. I put a lot of emphasis on cooking meals early rather than say the nutrient paste and things like that, and I like that because I feel like it prepares us better, and I like looking over and seeing I have 100 meals of this prepared, 100 meals that I know I can get through the winter, because this is, I don't know if I mentioned, this is the frozen tundra. Right now we're entering spring. We're not quite there. You can see it's still -2 out, so it's super dangerous for my guys right now, but we will get into spring and summer. I've done 2 runs now to kind of test the new mod, and I'll get into that a little later. I've had a hard time. I had a spring. I finally got into spring, like the warm part of spring, where I could start planting crops and kind of get some food going. And of course, I had toxic fallout, and basically the entire spring was toxic fallout. Then I had a little bit of summer, and then in fall we had a cold snap, basically the whole fall. So it was just like brutal. I barely got food made. I don't know if I would have hung on that one. I restarted again because I wanted to again test out the new updates. So we got Chef here. Chef is our cook. Cook here, she's gonna grow. She's gonna grow her plants and food, and then she's gonna cook it. That's basically her primary goal. Again, incapable of nothing, she can do it all. That's so important. So important. Steadfast, great trait. Optimist, another great trait. Procophobe doesn't really bother me too much. It might bother me endgame, but I can deal with it. By the time this might be a problem, they don't want a bionic part, I'm gonna have so much else built up to to buffer their mood that a little negative on the Procophobe probably won't harm me too badly. Again, no health problems. Relatively young, 40 years old, except for the crypto sleep age, which I don't really pay much attention to. Maybe I should. Again, a little shooting on here. This is great. Like, usually you get, like, stats that you want, and then you don't have any defense. So that's pretty good. I also like the medicine overlap. This was a nice bonus. I wasn't looking for it, but this way, if Doc does get harmed, he gets attacked, he goes down. Chef can overlap and take care of some of the medical needs we might have, at least triage and first aid, until then Doc can get back on his feet and take care of people. So that is our chef. And then Hammer, as you can imagine, is going to be our construction expert. He's going to mine. He's going to be our primary miner, which is kind of weird because he's got a rather low mining. But Chef actually has pretty good mining. She just doesn't have a passion in it. So she'll probably be the faster one in the beginning. Excuse me. And then Hammer will kind of hopefully take over with a little bit of this passion will catch up. I'm kind of hoping I'll get a wanderer or somebody that has decent mining that can be my point man on mining. Because as you can see, I got a lot of mining to do. I'm trying to talk fast here, guys. Get through. Again, he is actually going to be our combat guy. So I've got 10, I've got 6, I've got 5. That's pretty darn good. I'll be okay. He's going to have the best weapon. He's got the survival rifle to start. I've already set that up. Again, I try to do all the chore work ahead of time so you guys don't have to see it, so we can just talk about it. And I don't lose my train of thought. He's got teetotaler, doesn't like drugs. I've never really messed with drugs that much. That's one of the alphas I did not play. I haven't really messed too much with the relationships, you know, the interaction stuff, all those newer alphas. So this is going to be interesting for me. He's teetotaler. He doesn't like drugs and alcohol. I know that's a good way to manage people, so it might be a tool I learn as we go through this Let's Play. And I'm like, damn, I wish I could give him some alcohol to make him calm the hell down and not be so depressed, but I can't. So we'll learn. We'll see. Sanguine, this is a great trait. I love this one, the plus 12 mood buff. Ugly, not going to be good. It's going to be a little bit of a problem. I don't know. Again, I don't know the depth of the social interactions, how bad this one might be. I might hate that I took this. I don't know. We'll see. Only time will tell. But he's going to be our construction. He's going to build everything. Now, it's important. I found recently, I used to not pay much attention to this. Construction is one of the easier ones to level up. But having a little bit of construction in the beginning so you can make some good beds, some superior beds, some nice chairs, things like that really are nice to help buff the mood. And that's kind of why I'm going this route. He can grow too. I don't really foresee him doing that. And that's mostly it. Constructing. He's got a little bit of shooting. I needed one guy to have some shooting. And he's going to mine, but he's not very great at it. He will eventually probably switch over to crafting to make some blocks and things like that. So those are our 3 players. Hopefully they will be here with us for the long term. I'll probably keep these guys as their generic names, and then I'll add names in later as we add people, just so we can see how long these 3 make it. I always try to keep them alive, basically. So here you can see the basic layout. We landed right here. You can see some of our supplies. I have the guy. I unfortunately, I accidentally, I went to make a cup of coffee. I loaded the save, and I hit the spacebar thinking I was stopping it. Unfortunately, the spacebar started it, so they probably ran for like 30 seconds, maybe a little more actually. I'm not sure until I realized, and I came and I stopped. I apologize for that. I would have liked for them to have been literally right here so you guys can tell. But you can see we're in the 7th hour, the 1st of spring. I started the first day of spring, so we're only 7 hours in, which is not long in Rimworld time. Now, one thing I freaking hate. Well, why is this over here? One thing I hate, and I've seen this now, is these darn animals will eat my food on me. They'll eat my packaged meals, and that just drives me bad. Because I need to get them inside, obviously. Otherwise, I already killed the dog. I set him to die right away, because I'm going to need him for food. It does hurt Hammer. It's Hammer's dog, so it gives him a mood debuff, which stinks. But the dog eats so much damn food. It eats all my survival meals. And if I don't get stuff going properly, that could be the downfall of my colony. So it might not be a good thing. So what I'm doing here right now, as I'm talking, is I'm looking to see. We got a couple meals here. 1 meal, okay. Oh, we got a wolf out here. That's not another one here. All right, we got that. That's actually good. And that ram will give us some food. That ram alone might get us to spring. Because what's going to happen is as spring opens up and we get some warm temperatures, see all these brown bushes out here? These will start to sprout berries and stuff, so I can pick those just to get by until my farm here. Because I'm planning a farm in here. This is going to be like my starting defensive bunker. I've already changed it and tweaked it. I'm going to grow some berries in here just to get me started, just to get a food supply rolling. It's too cold to plant here. I think it's the 11th of spring when I can plant in the ground. We will do that, obviously. And then, obviously, I'm gonna talk in a minute about the base. I just wanted to kind of look around quick, see if there's any animals to get. That ram is good. If I can sneak him out, if we can pick him up without hitting that wolf, that'd be great. I mean, I could probably kill the wolf pretty well, but I would be afraid he'd take some kind of injury. I'm not going to click this metal here, because I have so much work to do. There's some machinery. And I don't really have a dedicated hauler. Oh, it's so nice once you get that first dedicated guy that can just be a hauler. It's so nice. Yeah, so I'm not going to send these guys too far out. You can see I have some rocks. All right. Let's talk about the bunker quick. Again, this is the geothermal vent. Eventually, I'm going to put a geothermal power plant on there. Until then, I'm going to let this thing heat this room up, because then I can plant in here. It's going to thaw it out, and I can plant. I'm going to put some berries in for a food supply to start. I have to wall it in anyway, so I use it as a defensive position. It's not the best, but it can fight people coming from this way. It can fight people coming from this way, and it can even fight people that get in here and cause some damage. Our main door, here's our base. This is what I always do. I always lay this stuff out ahead of time. Now, I got about 5 minutes, and I'd like to hit the play button before the episode 1 is over. So, I don't know. I apologize if this is very boring, but to some of you that play the game, probably you're going to find this interesting, because I look for stuff like this. I look on Reddit. I look for like base design, base layout, because this is super important to me. And again, I try to lay this out roughly before the game starts, because once the game starts, things go haywire. You get distracted. You get in emergency mode. You forget what you were going to do. What was I going to do with my medical ward? I don't remember. What was I going to do over here? Like, you just don't remember, and you forget, and then you get a bad base, and it's just like so much work to change it. So anyway, we're going to dig in here for first. This is not going to be the main entrance, but it's just, since I have the power and the defensive here, I'm going to dig in here. It's going to be a second entrance. Eventually, I'd like to wall this all off. I might do a wall here, and have this bunker kind of, eventually we'll probably do away with this. And this will be the main entrance here. We're going to have some defensive positions in here. I'll talk about those when we get to them. So basically, this is going to be the secondary entrance. These are just workshops, big 12 by 12 rooms. Think block cutting, tailoring, that kind of stuff, and just general storage going to go this way. And it can go up there if I need. These are battery rooms. I do 10 battery blocks, so that with a little switch, so when they're full I can turn them off. They're backup battery power. This is a little communications room. This is where I'll put the comms satellite communicator thing. All right, and this is the main entrance. So we're not going to open this up right away, but we will eventually. I've got some ideas here for pillars and defensive positions. We're going to have sandbags. We're going to probably fill a lot of this in with stone. Stone basically keeps the enemy. It slows them down greatly. And while they can take cover here, that's why I want to move these out of here right now. If you have like solid stone like around here, they can't stop on stone. They can't stop and make a firing position on stone. So when they get to here, like this orange here is where I want stone filled in. So they get here, they can take cover. I'll have better cover because I'm actually going to put a row of sandbags probably around here. I'll have better cover. I can hit them. I'll probably have better weaponry, better cover. I'll take that fight. I'll probably extend this out as I go, depending on what kind of weapons I get. Like right now I have pistols, so I can't make it very far. Once I get assault rifles and pulse guns and stuff, I'll make this longer, so I'll take up my range advantage. Eventually they have to decide, especially the brawlers that they have that might not have ranged weapons. They have to go for these doors, and they have to cross these rocks very slowly. They can't take any cover. Hopefully my guys can pick them off before they get there. I'm going to do kind of the same strategy here. Main entrance, I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. I might fan this off. I don't like to make kill boxes, but I'm absolutely going to make defenses. I'm not going to do the windy road with dumbfall traps and things like that, but I will, like, hey, you're going to come through this door. Well, I'm going to have my guys back here behind cover, and they're going to shoot you, because that's going to happen with mechs and things. It's going to happen. This is the center of just about every base I build. This is my cooler with expandable room up here. It's where all the food's going to go. I still put the butcher and the cooking table inside it. It takes a production efficiency loss because of the bad temperature, but I don't know if it's that bad, because if you put it in another room, now you're moving more. You're moving back and forth more, so you take a production hit there anyway. So to me, so far, and I'd love to hear your comments on this, anybody out there experienced with the game and the new updates. Do you do it in a separate room? Because even if you do it in a separate room just off the cooler, that room gets so cold, it can be hard. Then you got to heat that room, but then you're battling with your cooler. To me, it's just easier to keep it in here still. We'll probably experiment with that a little later. This is the medical ward. Now, this is a little weird. This new design I'm doing, this is kind of basically the triage room. I'm going to have the research tables in here, because research likes to be clean. It has cleanliness debuff now, so you might as well put it in the medical ward. It just kind of fits, right? Your scientist, your doctor, who is also my researcher, this is going to be his home, for more or less. I'm going to have a couple beds over here for triage, especially in the beginning. And this is my expansion here for individual rooms. The idea is once I kind of get TVs and stuff, I can put them in here. Also, one of them certainly going to be a surgery room. These are just different sizes. I'm going to experiment. First, I'm going to make a 3x3 room. See how they react while they're in there in the beds. Do they feel cramped? Are they moaning and groaning? I'll move up to 4x4, then 5x5. Eventually, they'll all be a uniform size. But this is just, first I'm going to try 3v3. If I can get away by 3x3, great, if I can. So this is the medical ward. This is the cooler. This is the great room. This is basically going to be the dining room. It's going to be the joy stuff, like billiards table, chess, lots of flowers, sculptures when I get to that point, big nice table, lots of chairs, the party room, that kind of stuff. This is where I'm going to try like 12v12. That should give me a very spacious room buff. that does carry out of the room. So hopefully they can come in here, they can eat their meal, have a nice, good meal. They get that buff, they get the spacious room buff, and they're on their way. They're starting their day with a good buff. They're running off and going. These are all the individual rooms. I'm doing 5x5. I'm not looking to get the buff. I know you can do like 1x2 rooms with just a bed, and that's a little gamey to me. I don't like it. I like that to seem realistic. I could maybe do 4x4. I know they do get a debuff that kind of disappears as soon as they leave the room. I don't know. Like, I just think 5v5 is probably a sweet spot. We're going to try it. We're going to see how it goes. I do understand they took the space hit for items in the room away, which I think is excellent. So that'll be good to see. We might experiment with this as well. These are my hydroponic setups. We'll see. With sun lamp in the middle, tables all around. Tables are super expensive because they take machinery now. So I'll probably only have one. I try to keep them as close as I can to the cooler just to keep transfer time down. So that's why these guys are stuck over here. A little space here for the main entrance, depending on how I want to end up with that defenses. This is the prison, the jail system. I try to keep it away. It's kind of windy for them. I'm going to have a little cut through here from the cooler so we can get meals to them and medicine quickly. Same idea as over there. I got a 3x3. I got a 4x4. I'm going to see how they react to that and see which is the best size. So again, feedback absolutely welcome. This is just kind of going to be like an airlock. Like we'll have doors here. We'll have doors here. We'll have doors here. And I'm going to probably have some kind of pillars with doors in here that if we do have a prison break, I'll have enough warning because he's going to have to break his jail door. He's going to have to break doors here. I can get some soldiers in here into a defensive position so that when they break these, I can fire on them. Or I can just fall back. I'm going to have, probably a couple more doors here. They won't go this way, I don't think, because I'm going to have this so fortified. Unless he's changed the AI. But only one way to find that out. Probably more doors here. It's going to be a long way for them to break out. And I put them over here in my sleeping ward because there's always people here. So if I get a prison break, these guys should either most likely be here, sleeping, or in the great room eating. There's a really good chance that those guys will be in these rooms. So I'll be able to just grab guys quickly and react. And they're also good defensive positions, bedrooms. A lot of times I'll even put doors into the bedroom so you can move around. You could fight in this position, fall back through a door, especially with an infestation or something. I could fall back in, move through, fight through this door. I could fall back very easily there. Bedrooms tend to make pretty good defensive positions. I might even do that here. Link these with doors, let the temperature even out between them. I like the link as much as I can. I'm actually definitely probably going to extend this to connect over here so that when someone comes through our front door and fights, we can have a defensive position here. Once they get too close, we can fall back. Obviously, that's going to split us, right? The guys that are over on this side are going to fall this way. The guys that are this way are going to fall that way. Now they've got to split up. That's not good. If they come to attack this way, I'd like to be able to get these guys either to attack them from behind or flank all the way back around and join the main force. I don't know. These are just defensive positions, especially with the infestations. You got to think like that. You got to have, utility. You got to have flexibility. You got to be ready for anything, really. So, again, this is my armory. This is where all the racks with the guns, the best weapons, the best armor, that kind of stuff is going to go. Relatively close to this entrance, kind of decently far away from the prison. This is going to be heavily locked up. In fact, this isn't right because I do want to have two thickness, double doors basically. And yeah, all the best stuff is going to be in there. All the best weaponry is going to be there. So there you go. That's the plan. That's about, we're hitting the 22-minute mark. So that's going to be it for episode 1. We're not even going to hit the play button. I'm just going to keep it that way. Episode 2, we're definitely going to get underway. We got a lot of work to do. We're going to get right at it. If you did enjoy this, guys, thank you so much. If you did watch this whole video, I take it that you've got some hours in Rimworld and you're interested in this type of stuff. Please let me hear your feedback. If you see something that's jumping out at you, that looks terrible, let me know, because it's been a little while since I played. There's quite a bit different with the AI. I've even only messed with the infestations a little bit, not that much. So I don't even know how that works. I don't exactly know what triggers it. Is it dark, long hallways? There are X number of spaces away from anything. Like, I don't know that stuff. I don't know how the coding works. So please let me know. Otherwise, we're going to get underway. Like I said, the most active people, the most supportive people. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the comments. If I see on Twitter, tweeting out the episodes or something like that, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll add you in, and I'm going to start keeping a list here right on my desk as I just see guys that make really good comments and good support. I'm going to add you in. Hopefully that'll make it more interesting for you. It always definitely makes it more interesting for me. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Episode 2, we're going to get underway. I'm a little nervous. I'm afraid I'm going to let you down, but you guys know this game. This game's crazy. So looking forward to it, and I will see you next episode, guys. Take care.